Alrighty, welcome into the June Rockwell Levy Ice Rink here at the historic Burrillville High School in Burrillville, Rhode Island for an interleague matchup. Division I takes on D2. It's the Burrillville Broncos playing host to the RMTEB Canes coming from Rogers, Middletown, Tiverton, Mount Hope, East Bay, East Providence, wherever. But it's Tim Duffy and Jay Costa here today. This afternoon, we got an early game, 4 o'clock start time about to begin. And Jay, we did a game last night, some D2 action between West Warwick EWG and against versus EGTG. Great game. Hope we get another good one today.
Yeah, you know, Tim, I mean, this is going to be one of the better games we call, I think. I mean, this is a struggling Burrillville team. They haven't had a lot of great games recently versus an RMT team that really needs to pick up after an overtime loss against North Kingston just yesterday. I'm expecting a lot of both these teams. Obviously, as a Portsmouth High School alumni, I can't really say a lot of good about RMT just due to our rivalry. But hey, I mean, I'm excited for a good game. I'm expecting a lot out of a family friend of mine, Benny Brown. So it'll be a good one for RMT and Burrillville today.
Shout out to Ben Brown. We just got some Bristol bagel before the game, so getting some good eats in our system. We're here at Burrillville High School, the only public high school in Rhode Island with an ice rink on their school's campus. Super excited to be here, and these are two teams both looking for their first win of the year, league or non-league. Both these two teams losing all 3 games, all of them being league games for RMTEB, just one for Burrillville, and both looking for just an ounce of success. We'll actually play 2 22.5-minute halves today in this non-league game instead of 3 15-minute periods, so different little pace here in this one, as we saw the last time we were here for a Burrillville non-league game against King Philip Regional. So 22.5 minutes on the clock here on Fans Only Sports Network. And Jay, you must be pumped, because I am.
I'm hyped, Tim. I mean, I know RMT is a really chippy squad, so I'm expecting them to bring that out of Burrillville as well. I'm expecting a lot of big plays. And, the pace might be a little slow just because of how long the halves are and with the fact that we're playing with halves. But I think overall it'll be a lot of fundamental hockey, a lot of good play shots, and a lot of shots that you look at that you're pretty happy about, I'd say, Tim.
Gonna be some good hockey indeed as the Broncos taking on the Canes. Both teams hungry for a victory here in the 2024-25 season.
Tim, one thing you gotta mention about RMT before we get going here is just the sheer size of their roster. I mean, the bench is full. There's not enough room for them all in there. I mean, a lot of depth.
Bench is huge, or the guys on their bench is huge number. And I was talking to my good friend Cam Rancourt on that bench, who's going to come up at halftime potentially. We'll talk to him. Here's a shot to begin this one, and it's saved by the goaltender Lucas Nicoletti. But they have to scratch, about 10 players a game, somewhere around there, 7 or 8 players a game. And you see the bench below us. I mean, that is absolutely packed.
Yeah, I mean, there's I see a lot of stickers from a lot of clubs, and it's a wide array of kids from a lot of schools. So it's great to see them all out here and vying for a spot. But it does it's tough being a healthy scratch. I mean, no one wants to be that healthy scratch, but it's got to happen, especially with the roster size this big.
Here's this one off the stick of a Bronco early on in this one. That came off the stick of Frankie Staples, who we didn't see the last time we were here. Nate Neers behind the bench, behind the net, off the wall over to Rodney Frenette, and Frenette will swing it out to Mason Moore. Staples, who led the team in points a year ago, turns that one over, lost it, taken away by Ben Brown, who we just mentioned. Nick Carey in the corner, fighting for it with Brown. Carey pokes it over in the direction of Evan Polacek. Fiod trying to get that one through the slot, could not. This one at center ice, it's going to find Evan Agron, the leading goal scorer for this team, and they end up turning it back over again. Here's Fournette going far side, up to Polacek. And nobody home. Labalita comes away with it for the Canes. This one swat up in the air, dancing around the face-off circle and taken back by Gavin Avila. And this one sent down the ice by Braden Swanikamp. Offensive zone time here for the Canes. Sylvia. Swanikamp couldn't hang on to it. Burrillville able to get it back. Here's Fion coming near side, flips it forward, and just going to kill some more clock here as we're already 2 minutes into this one. Here's a shot from distance from Force, and Force got it on net, but it's cleaned up by Nicoletti. Nicoletti comes in this game 0-1 on the year, allowing 5 goals in his only start of the season against Naraho. And RMTEB, they're 0-3 this season. They lost to Naraho and BVS last week, 5-1 and 4-1 respectively. And then a long shot here from Force, saved by the legs of Nicoletti. And then a tough loss last night on the road at Boss Ice Arena in overtime against North Kingstown, losing on a power play goal in overtime. In net, though, for Burrillville is big number 30. That's Riley Karen. Swanikamp puts in the middle there for Grayson Hawkins down the ice. He's got Carpenter. Carpenter takes it, saved by Karen. Carpenter gets it back on his own miss. Here's a good look, and he couldn't get a stick on it. That time, Gavin Avila had a great chance to at least get one on net. Couldn't get the stick on it, though, that time. Here's a shot here from a tough angle. They score! Nate Carpenter, I think it was, scored the goal. Let's see who leaves the line. That was a tough angle right there, and actually it's Braden Swanikamp who's able to punch in the first goal of the game for the Canes. Unbelievable.
Yeah, Tim, that's Swanikamp's first goal of the season. He's got an assist as well in the year from the game against Naraho, I believe. And, you know, he's a spectacular player. I think that this team, you know, coming into it was viewed as an underdog. I think a lot of people look at the division, the contrast in divisions, one being Division 1, one being Division 2, and they think it's going to be a cleanup for Burrillville. But this is a really scrappy RMT team, so they're going to put up a fight, and they're up early, which is something some people might not have expected.
And you mentioned that's his first goal of the year. He had an assist a couple of games ago as well, and was able to get the goal to put the Canes to a surprising 1-0 lead. As here's a shot from Mason Moore, got blocked, and over to Murphy. Murphy got tripped up, and it's swatted away down the ice by Carpenter, and this will be an icing call against RMTEB. So this co-op team, you know, 5 different schools, Rogers, Milltown, Tiverton, Mount Hope, and East Providence on this team. And you know, they have such a big squad, looking to get a big upset victory today against the Burrillville Broncos.
Yeah, this will have a real good look on their schedule if they can win this game. I think that this is a team that can get a win off of anybody. I think they're very competitive, and they're able to compete with some of the top dogs in Division 1. And Burrillville's a really stout team. We saw how good they were last year, Tim. So to start like this was, I think, a bit of a surprise for everybody. 0-3 with losing some big games by a decent amount. So I think they'll bounce back for the rest of the season. But if this isn't a wake-up call, I don't know what is, Tim.
So over the PA, they said that Grayson Hawkins was the goal scorer, number 8. He took the initial shot. So I think they give him the goal. Swanikamp looked like he had tipped it at the end of the play, but it's a penalty. Penalty against Lucas Nicoletti against RMTEB. So Carrison will serve it here for RMTEB, and now Burrillville on the power play. This one's swatted way down the ice by Evan Agron. Clears up some of this penalty clock. Force trying to spin out of it here. This will be another penalty behind the net. Wow. And it's going to be interference against Burrillville. Just 20 seconds after the penalty, it's going to be 4-on-4. And the Broncos squander their first power play as Patrick Poisson go in the box for 2 minutes for interference behind the net there. Wow. Missed chance for the Broncos, Jay.
Yeah, you know, you've got to wonder what he was thinking there. I mean, just wasn't really. That's a concentration error right there, in my opinion, Tim. You know, he's got to really do a better job at keeping himself in check, and it messes up a big opportunity here. Now he's got some 4-on-4 hockey.
Here's Staples going all the way with it. Got it swatted away at the end of the play. And that is going to be another whistle blown here. It's going to be a trip on Staples. He got tripped up there and go in the box. Don't even have to tell him twice. Austin Sylvia will go in for 2 minutes there.
Wow, Tim.
Another penalty. That is 3 penalties.
In quick succession.
Yeah, 3 penalties in 33 seconds. And Sylvia, who had the penalty last night in overtime, will go in again for a trip. And that will now put Burrillville back on the power play. It's 4-on-3, so a lot of room to roll with on the ice here. Force at the point will go to the circle here, takes the shot, got blocked by David Sylvia. Trying to get it right back. Here's another shot, that one gets swatted. Good defensive play there on the shot from Clayton Charette. Getting a piece of it was Sylvia, I believe, or it was number 32, Will Warren. That's another penalty.
Oh my goodness.
It's against Will Warren now. Another penalty. Put 3 of them in there.
I saw that, Tim.
It's rough.
Yeah, he gave a little bit of a shove to, I believe it was a 24 behind the net there, and the official caught it, said, nuh-uh. And now it's another man in the box, and still a 4-on-3 though. But just something you really can't have, and I know that's a big problem with RMT is their penalty issues.
So they still have 3 guys on the ice. That is 3 penalties for the Canes in 47 seconds. Unbelievable. They can't even squeeze that last penalty on the scoreboard. And Burrillville, now with the big advantage, looking to tie this thing up. Here's Nears. Takes it, saved by Nicoletti that time. Now he allowed 5 goals in that first game, but he did come in so with an 89% save percentage. So I guess it's about 40 or 45 shots that went his way saved. It's a team that lets up a lot of shots, RMTEB, because they've been having a lot of penalty problems too as well.
Yeah.
And case in point right here. Long look. That one got knocked down. Still alive. They tried it again. Fournette got it saved. Nicoletti was almost in his own net there, but Fournette getting denied as...
You know, Tim, I think when it comes to the penalty problems, you have to look at just the sheer amount of schools. I mean, 5 schools, not all these kids have played together their entire lives. They play different clubs.
Right.
They play different schools. They've grown up with their net group of kids. There's got to be some chemistry issues sometimes, and I think that comes down to these fouls these penalties that are a little needless. And that's kind of why we have this issue right now, where it's a 4-on-3, and they really squandered their opportunity they had with an early power play by getting 3 successive penalties.
This one right off the face-off again. That's a great point you made, Jay. I mean, the chemistry of this team, is definitely one thing where, it's been a big poopery of all these schools coming together. I mean, last year it was just RMT, Rogers, Middletown, Tiverton. This year you had Mount Hope and East Providence as well, and it's also the discipline as well with this squad. A lot of bad penalties is, Coach Cam Ranko was telling me before the game, as this shot from Fournette goes in. They score and tie it up on the power play.
Yeah, Tim, that was just about what you'd expect there. I mean, down a man, they're going to let it fly from range, and that's exactly what we saw from Burrillville there. Just another howitzer from deep. They've been launching those since it became a 4-on-3. And it's very clear as to why this scoreline is now tied. I mean, just still a huge miscue on RMT. There's still a 4-on-3 after that penalty, just due to the other 2 guys in the box.
Fournette with the goal.
Assisted by number 6, your captain, Patrick Murphy.
Assisted by Patrick Murphy. Jay, what a shot, though. I mean, this is how they lost last night, RMTEB on the power play, and power play goal allowed. Not even 5 minutes into this game. It's been a very exciting first 5 minutes already, though. 4 penalties total.
Yeah, like I said, this is the kind of game you get when you watch an RMT play. They bring out a lot of excitement from their opponents, and not the home team obviously, and It really does show the kind of game that Burrillville has to play now, and they're playing up above what RMT is giving them, and I think that's why they've been able to close this out.
RMTEB trying to kill some of this penalty clock here. It's a long shot, and Karen makes the save. As we still have 45 seconds to go on the first penalty that Nicoletti committed. Or one of them came out of the box, so the second penalty, rather, from Sylvia. Nears has a great look. Didn't want to shoot it, though. Gives it up. Far side, taking it, and that one just missed off to the left for Cameron Laramie.
You know, Tim, we're going to get about 12 seconds of a
Here's
5-on-3.
Laramie again. Laramie got it saved. Still alive. He had a great look there. And like you said, Jay, yeah, we're going to have a 5-on-3 for 12 seconds starting right now. Here's Fiat coming on the ice along with Fournette. Can they take advantage? Down to 5 seconds. They're just going to reset here. And they won't do anything on this 5-on-3. This will bring Sylvia out of the box now and back on the ice. Fournette coming near side. Turns that one over. Keegan Grant takes it away. Sylvia over to his brother. Here's the other Sylvia here. Gets by one, puts it inside, and the pass from David to Austin not connecting right there as the latter slides into the net and stops the clock with 16:08 left in this first half.
Oh, okay.
Back here following the face-off. Fournette. And wrestling with it, it's Fiat and Labalita. This one gets by Fournette. It's going to kill some more penalty clock here as Nears will get after it. And alas, we are back to 5-on-5 as that ends the Will Warren penalty. And we haven't seen this seemingly in forever, Jay. I mean, back to 5-on-5 with so many penalties from the Canes. This one goes off the stick of Carey and out of play into the fan section.
You know, Tim, I was just about to say, it felt like that penalty, that penalty arc took forever. What was that, 5 penalties in total? Like, there was a lot going on, 4 or 5 penalties, and just and all in concurrent fashion, so consecutive fashion. So they, they're running and just not a great streak when it comes to just RMT getting opportunities. They were on their heels a lot during that time frame.
Here's Sylvia, gives it up inside, shot, still alive, and it gets DeCesare, makes the play. Oh, they had a great chance with Gavin Avila, and he couldn't tap it in. Oh, it was right there for Avila. Here's Jackson Stringer trying to get through traffic. Big body going on the ice. Here's a shot on the move. Missed it off to the left for Swanikamp. And covering up there is Karen. Find the loose puck that time, as that one was dangerous. Burrillville almost letting another one squeak in right there.
Yeah, that could have been detrimental for Burrillville, but some good hands there by Karen.
Here's a shot right off the face-off from Agron, got saved. So RMTEB, they're getting the shots off right now. They've had a lot of good possessions entering the offensive zone here. And a huge collision. That's going to be a penalty on Staples. Oh my goodness, that got the crowd in disbelief. Staples planting Austin Sylvia there. He'll go in for 2. Senior on senior right there.
Yeah, Sylvia took a really big hit there. Impressive power, I will say, from the 11 Staples. Absolutely insane.
And I think Staples is gonna be getting more than just 2 minutes here.
Are we think
zoom in on them.
Thinking of a major, Tim, or an ejection? It looks like an ejection.
We'll see. Not sure yet. Yeah, he's going to the
Wow.
locker room. Yeah. Wow. So Sylvia, he looked okay coming off his feet, but Staples, they just kicked him out of the game. Unbelievable. Let's see if we can hear what's going on below us.
They did put 5 minutes on the penalty clock, Tim.
It's a 5-minute major. That was a jarring hit by Frankie Staples. Sylvia's on the bench, and he doesn't look too good down below us. He's getting tested by the medical staff. And that one must have hurt. You gotta, ooh.
Yeah, that's not a hit I'd like to take ever in my entire life. So, you hope that he's got no injuries and all set to go after taking a hit like that.
Yeah, and Staples out of the game, serving the penalty is Connor Davis for 5 minutes. And a 5-minute unlockable power play. We saw one of these last night, Jay, in favor of West Warwick EWG, where they were able to score a goal. Here's the pass inside. And that one, unable to get the shot off, was Colton Carrison.
Yeah, Tim, this is one of those moments where RMT really has the keys to the game here. They've got 5 minutes of an advantage here, and they really need to use that wisely in order to take advantage of this game and get a lead again.
And another hit right there from there. So that is 5 penalties in the first half of this first half. And you don't see, majors coming that early in the game typically.
Yeah, I think usually you get a major when tempers start flying, but with a team as aggressive as RMT plays, I'm not surprised they brought it out of Burrillville this early. And I'd have to say that's one of the strengths of this RMT team. Surprisingly, is their ability to draw penalties as much as they commit them.
That'll be offsides against RMTEB.
Oh yeah. It's so much easier to say R.
Force gets it off the face-off for Burrillville. Slams it off the boards. Here's Hawkins. Get over to Keegan Grant. And Grant down the ice. Carpenter flips it up ahead. And this game just became a whole lot more physical. This one will fly into the Bronco bench. Hits a coach almost in the noggin right there.
Yeah,
I think it did get him in the head.
I think,
he shielded himself a little bit, but wow, golly.
Yeah. Carpenter got hit in the bench there. Almost directly into the bench of Burrillville. If there was nobody there, he probably would have gone over the boards. I mean, this game is completely flipped upside down, Tim. It's a really physical contest. RMTEB is really showing their aggressive nature here.
Just rewatching this penalty, yeah, I think that hit was probably worthy of an ejection right there. I mean, look at this, Jay. Just showing him on, ooh, bang.
Ooh. Yeah, no doubt a penalty there, worthy of the ejection.
Here's
this is not something you can do.
Slicing through traffic. Still 3 minutes left on the penalty. And Burrillville has on the plus side of the ice, shorthanded. Force. Inside, that one's off the stick of Fiod. And we'll be right back to RMTEB. Carpenter. Grant couldn't hang on to it. Numbers here. 2-on-1 break. Polacek leads it. And he gets it ripped away by Evan Agron. Agron maybe the best player on this Canes team, making a big defensive play right there. To break up what became a 2-on-2. Here's another chance. Murphy gets it up inside. And they couldn't get the shot off there with Poisson. Too much dangling on that one. Back to neutral zone as Nears gets it down the ice.
Yeah, Tim. I think one of the more impressive things about Burrillville is their power kill, and they're so good at it that they can go on the attack down a man and be effective at it. They've gotten a lot of really good opportunities, a lot of good shots off, and a lot of good breakaways. Just short-handed right now.
And they had a breakaway there, which they couldn't connect on. And this Burrillville team, struggling to score goals earlier in the year. They lost yesterday here at home, 6-2 against Barrington. They lost 6-0 against Prout. And they lost 6-2 against King Philip in a non-league game a couple weeks ago. And in both the Barrington and King Philip games, they were 2-2 games at one point. This is a long shot right there from Carpenter, which rather it was Lavalita off to the side. Lavalita trying to slap it up ahead again. Boyson does the same thing as well. Here's Agron. Back to Sylvia. Sylvia tries to get it inside and tries to challenge. They score again! Swannikamp puts it in. And the Canes retake the lead.
You know, Tim, they took away his goal from the first one. They said it was the shooter rather than his deflection. He says, I'm going to get one on my own.
Sure did.
Undeniably. And, you know, what a great play by Swannikamp to take the lead here. You know, I said it earlier, RMT can steal a game from any team in the state, and it really looks like they're doing that now with how they're playing at the moment.
With 1:09 left on the unlockable 5-minute major, they still have 69 more seconds on the power play. Can they get one more? We'll see. The Canes now have led on 2 separate occasions today, which they've struggled to do all year leading up to tonight. This afternoon, rather.
Yeah.
It's only like 4:30.
4:30.
But it's also the first of 2 games here today at Levy Ice Rink. Jay has Pontiganson up next.
That one, Tim, I'm expecting a really good game. You know, a couple really good teams facing off, and I'm really excited for that one overall. But we got a great game here as well, and you know, we got about 32 more minutes to go of some really good hockey.
Frawley looking to get it inside through the slot. Avila couldn't make the play there. Moore. Back to the blue line it goes to Hawkins. He got it ripped away from him. Nick Carey dancing inside. Carey takes it right in the chest of Nicoletti, and he makes the save. Carey takes it right back, though, on a bad pass from Nicoletti. Carey takes it again. Still alive. Moore taps it in. Oh, Nicoletti had it right in his glove, and it came out, and Moore with maybe the easiest goal of his high school career. Unbelievable.
You know, props to Nicoletti. I think Nicoletti's a really stout goaltender. He's young. He's a sophomore. He's gonna have those miscues, but the raw ability that he has is unmatched, and he's shown that with his shot-stopping prowess. Just a miscue there, unfortunately, left the door open to tie this one back up. And you know,
he's got to get that awareness rating up
yeah.
a little bit there. Wow, that was tough.
You know, Woody Johnson, the New York Jets GM, would argue that the awareness rating in Madden or NHL, I guess in this case, would be the most important metric of all time.
Yeah, that was tough right there for Nicoletti. He'll be thinking about that one as well. And you know, in this non-league game, maybe, just maybe, we'll see a goalie switch from either of these 2 teams. We saw it the first time, like I mentioned, when Burrillville played King Philip in a 22.5-minute halves type of game, and maybe it'll happen again here today.
Yeah, Tim, you know, we talked about at the beginning of the game who we thought would be the goaltender for Burrillville today. I think that they've got 2 really high-class tenders, and that's after their senior from last year left. And they've got Tremblay and Karen, who are both really good at what they do, and I feel like every week either one of them could start and either one of them could excel in their position.
Well, looks like I got a great chance right there for Burrillville to put them in front. They have not led today, the Broncos, as Agron is able to take this one back for the Canes. Over to Carrison. Carrison trying to put it in the middle, back to center ice. Fion takes it back for the Broncos. Charette. Polasek. This will be a whistle blown first. It's going to be an icing against Burrillville. 8:53 left here in this first half. This game also brought to you by Iron and Steel Threads. Go to Iron and Steel Threads. Go to www.ironsteelthreads.com for your hockey apparel, and you get 10% off of your purchase at Iron and Steel Threads. You can use code FOSports10 to check out all of their stuff. That's FO Sports with a Z at the end of sports, and it's all caps as well. FOSports10, 1-0. Other direction, Burrillville. This one saved by Nicoletti, denying Poisson's shot that came in pursuit right there. 2-2 game, Jay. I don't think a lot of people thought this game would be 2-2. 14 minutes in, but we've had a barn burner so far here in this first half.
Yeah, Tim, this is I've said in this game, the two really solid matchups here, or really solid teams, both of them off to not so great starts. I think that when they think about who's going to win this game in pregame, they look at the divisions.
Avila's shot goes wide right there. Swanny Camp turns it over. Laramie over to Moore. Off his stick. And it's right back to Avila here. Hawkins getting tangled up with Patrick Murphy, and they're going to save that one again. Nicoletti gets on top of it, and Burrillville, to be frank, they have dominated the shot count so far in this first half, and that's the beauty of hockey. I mean, it doesn't really matter how many shots you get on net, but how many you get in the back of the net.
Yeah, exactly, Tim. It comes down to placement and power, and the shots they've gotten the shots that Burrillville's taken haven't really had a lot of power on them. They've been a lot of slow dribblers, and except for those the two that he's let in, Nicoletta's really had an easy time back there.
Carrison, cross ice, looking for a trailing Agron. Not there. They've done a good job containing Agron so far today. That was a long shot, that time from Warren, that got saved. Hit from behind. They're going to call a penalty. I believe it's Lavalita, and slow to get up right there is DeCesare. And Lavalita will go to the box for 2 minutes.
Yeah, Tim, the 19 went face first into the boards, or the 16, went face first into the boards there. It's a good call. Blow it dead. I mean, just you gotta always be careful. Have him come out, evaluate him for a concussion, make sure he's all right. So it's a good call overall.
So Lavalita going in for 2 for the hit from behind right there. And another power play for Burrillville, who, they had a 5-on-3 for 12 seconds, or they had a 4-on-3 for a lot of it because RMTEB committed a couple of penalties. The last time we saw guys in the box, 3 penalties in a 47-second span. And wow, they actually called that a major penalty. Wow, they call it a major. Referee's telling the Canes bench somebody has to serve this major penalty. And it will be Logan Amaral. You see someone saying, "Go Logan," maybe his mom, but he's going to serve the penalty. So 2 major penalties here in the first half. Big hit from behind there. Referees say it's a huge cheap shot, and Burrillville will have an extra man on the ice for the majority of the rest of this first half. Here's Cam Force for the Broncos. Force will go left. Gets it back in the middle, takes it from distance,
Wow.
and scores! Are you serious? Cam Force, his second goal of the weekend, and that one comes with some major style points. Unbelievable ripper from the blue line.
What a way to take the lead for the first time today. Tim, that's a plus 1,000 aura right there. An absolutely spectacular play by him from the blue line. A good shot. And just slots it by the young Nicoletta, who's had his struggles today. He's had his highs, he's had his lows, and that right there is among the list of lows he's had.
Nicoletti lets in another one. That one, maybe even more discouraging than the last because that was from long range. It's Force with authority. He scored a goal last night in the loss to Barrington in a league game. That's his second goal here at Levy this weekend, looking for their first win over the Broncos. Nears off his stick. Force will let it ice instead. Actually, no icing call. 6:40 and counting down here in the first half. And Fournette Mears. Force. Gets through the slot, takes it again, and Nicoletti makes the save. Looking for number 2 in the matter of seconds and couldn't get it there. Still 3:43 left on the major. And that's already the 3rd power play goal we've seen today. 2 of them have come on major penalties. The Swandykamp one from earlier, and now the Cam Force one. And Burrillville looking to add another one. This one will bounce all the way back over to Nate Mears. Mears takes it again. This one out of the midst of Nicoletti again. But he'll cover up this time, dissimilarly to the last time he had it bounce out of his mitts.
Yeah, you know, Tim, something I've noticed from I believe the 3 or 4 years I've been fortunate enough to cover RMTEB games is they tend to play on their heels a lot during power plays. They it's like they're scared, and that gets them into trouble a lot of times, especially what we've seen right now where they've allowed a couple power play goals so far.
Let's see if they can get a stop here on the next 3.5 minutes. 210 seconds, and this will be another whistle blown. It was between Fournette and Warren, or rather Fournette and Sylvia in front of the net. And I think they will just bring this one back. Someone's going to the box here. It's going to be, rather it was Will Warren and Fournette. They're both going to go in for 2 for roughing. Penalties galore here in the first half. And I was trying to say earlier that, my good friend Coach Cam on RMTEB was telling me we just had a lot of bad penalties this season. And Will Warren, now with his 2nd roughing call today, Rodney Fournette, who scored the power play goal earlier, will go in for his first time this afternoon.
Yep.
So it's going to be 4 on, it still will be 5 on 4 rather. And this is a good play there by Brown. Brown up ahead, they got a man. It's Sylvia for the tie. Sylvia scores! Short-handed.
Wow.
David Sylvia, number 3, getting the 3rd Kane goal today.
Tim, the Sylvia twins are high class, spectacular players, and David Sylvia showing that offensive acumen there, putting in a goal shorthanded on a breakaway against a really stout team, a really well-coached team like Burrillville. That's impressive right there, Tim.
And Sylvia, that's his first goal of the year. Brown, his first assist of the year, and 2 of the best players on this team making it happen for the Canes. What a game we've had here in the first half.
Yeah, Tim, this is going to be
6 goals. We've had 8 penalties. A lot of everything. Here's a slap shot. Oh, a ripper from Poisson. Too tall on the shot. Murphy will bounce back over to him. Sylvia will be there defensively. Over to Force. Near side. Force takes it. Saved. Nicoletti out of his glove again. He's got to get some stickum for those gloves.
Yeah, that could have been detrimental, Tim. This might go down as an all-time game for us. We call a lot of barn burners, but this is the barn burner of all barn burners right now. Just the way that they're playing. It's a chippy game, high scoring. Love to see it.
Burrillville, who was 4th in Division I a year ago in the regular season play, they went to the championship last year. This is a team who went to the Division I championship, lost to Hendricken, and RMTEB, they had 1 win last season. This one will go off the wall, and they had 1 win in Division II last year. We have a tied game. And who would have thought this would happen a year ago?
A year ago, you look at this Burrillville team, they were 1 game away from being on top of the mountain in Rhode Island hockey. And, they've had a lot of struggles this year, but this is a really well-coached team. This is a really senior-heavy squad.
Ooh, almost slips in.
And, I think they'll get the wheels turning late. There's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of pieces from last year's from the last year's finalist roster. So,
Poisson again saved.
I have no doubts that they'll bounce back, and they've got a great game so far after a lackluster start.
You mentioned this is a senior-heavy team, a lot of experience. They have 10 seniors on this Broncos squad this season. And here's one of them with Poisson losing the puck. Force will get back to it. A minute remains on the 5-minute major. Force. Going far side. Force. Inside. Fion couldn't get the deflection. Carey. That one's swatted away by Keegan Grant. 40 seconds remain on the penalty. Surveying was Nears, and Nears clogged up. He gets tripped from behind. I think that was a clean no call right there. Losing a stick as well was Brown. And Carpenter down the ice. This will be sent right back to Karen. That stick is still loose. Here's Fiod. Final seconds of the penalty, and we'll go back to 5-on-5 after a long 5 minutes for the Canes.
Wow, Tim. So eventful, so spectacular. Some great play overall by these teams. And great way to close out that power play for RMTEB.
This one sent down the ice again by Gavin Avila. Two minutes to go in the first half. Hawkins surveys and swings it out to Grant. This one tips, and Nicoletti will get on top of it. Perillo got a piece of that one to alter the pass, and there's 109 seconds remaining here in the first.
You know, it's going to be a really action-packed 100 seconds, Tim. No doubt about that. A lot of big play here, a lot of attacking pressure from Burrillville. They really want to win this game. They're hungry for a win, just as hungry as RMTEB is. So I expect a lot more shots coming in this next minute and a half.
From the point, Nears over to DeCesare. This one inside, it'll be poked away. Over to Laramie. Laramie down the ice to Perillo. From behind that, looking to tap it in. Backhand shot not going to happen that time for Tyler Rodriguez. Here's up ahead and turned over again. Here's Schreiber. Schreiber whiffed on the pass that time. DeCesare turns it over off the wall. Carpenter. Perillo, under a minute to go here in the first half. Tover. We got some of these fourth liners in for Burrillville now. Murphy steps into it, and it's saved by Nicoletti again.
Yeah, you know, Nicoletti's really trying to make up for the miscues he's had today. So he's had a lot of surefire saves. He's had a couple fall out of his glove, Tim, but you know, the ones he's had have been really good, and he's been able to keep RMT in this game to an extent. It's a good job by him, and there's been a lot of really high quality shots, a lot of good shot vision from Burrillville. So the fact that Nicoletti's been able to save a majority of them is still really good.
It's been good, but he's had some, bad drops out of his glove. I mean, cost his team a goal as well. It's been tough for him.
Yeah, no excuse for that.
It's one of those things where, the bad, unfortunately, that one play might outweigh the good, because without that, they'd be up at the break, in all likelihood.
Yeah, Tim, no doubt about it. That comes with being a young player like he is. They've got some experience in the roster. I think that he's got a lot to learn, Nicoletti. But, like you said, the bad does outweigh the good, I think. No matter what he does, I think for the rest of this game, you'll still have that bad taste in your mouth going into this period.
Unless they win this game.
If they win the game, it's different.
I'm not trying to hate on the kid.
Of course.
That one play was very tough. But he's made a lot of great saves.
Yeah.
Because, the puck has fallen off his glove quite a few times. Might be just a glove issue out of the skill issue. And, Karen on the other side has had multiple good saves as well for Burrillville.
Yeah, we haven't really had, we really haven't mentioned him a lot. He hasn't gotten a lot of action. It's been a couple breakaways and they've put it in, but they haven't really had a lot of, RMTEB hasn't had a lot of shots like Burrillville has had.
There's a Veal with 5 seconds. We'll slam it down the ice, and that is going to conclude the first half. Tie game after 22 and a half minutes. 3 apiece between Burrillville and RMTEB. These two teams have exchanged 3 goals apiece, and we've seen a lot of that as well. Some chirping and chippiness. 2 major penalties, 8 total. It's been a whole lot of action here in Burrillville this afternoon. We'll be right back for half number 2. Tim Duffy and Jay Costa. We'll see you guys then. All right, we open up the second half. Broncos and the Canes tied at 3 apiece. Tim Duffy, Jay Costa back to it. We saw an action-packed first half. Like I said, 8 penalties, 6 goals. 3 of those penalties were majors as well.
One
Both
ejection.
teams capitalized on each end for their respective 5-minute penalties. So we got 22 and a half minutes back on the clock. Tim Duffy, Jay Costa. Jay, what a first half it was, my friend.
Tim, this might be one of the better first halves we've seen in a long time. Really good hockey is being played here. Aggressive hockey, but fundamentally sound for the most part. A couple issues with drops by the goaltenders, but overall a really fun game, and that's what we love here at Fans Only Sports.
We sure do. We love a fun game. As nobody really expected this to be a tied game at the half. The Canes, they came in this one having 4 goals in their first 3 games. They've scored 3 in the first 22 and a half minutes here today.
Yeah, it's really been electric. A lot of fast-paced play, a lot of power play goals. Just overall spectacular so far, Tim. Couldn't ask for a better game.
Spectacular indeed, my friend. This one will go behind the net, and it's recovered there by Hawkins, who scored the first goal. This one's loose, and it's still Moore had a chance at it. First one there with a shot was Murphy, and instead the other direction. Now here comes Evan Agron. Closing out on him is Fournette. With the puck, Brown. Over to Stringer. Turned over again. Force, who's listed as a defenseman, has scored twice this weekend. You gotta give him a lot of credit. Undersized as well. Here's Carey. Down through the slot. This one is sent down the ice by Sylvia, and there'll be no icing because it was touched by Karen right there. As both these goaltenders still in net, Karen and Nicoletti. Here in the second half of this non-league game, Nicoletti will cover up that time. Stays in his mitts on that shot there, and it stops the clock for the first time here in the second half.
Yeah, Tim, that's a good way to start the half. Some safe hands. He had a scare really early. Got bailed out by his defense, but Nicoletti able to fall on it, get a face-off, and he's just trying to build off of that now.
Like I alluded to earlier, we actually have 2 games here from Leaving Today. Jay on the call for the next one. It's Pontiac against the Cranston East-West Situate Woonsocket Co-op team. This will be a fun one.
Yeah, it'll be a good game. Me and Daniel on the call for that, so I'm excited. It'll be my first ever game with Daniel. He's a really talented commentator, so it'll be exciting.
Canes bench won a hook right there on Clayton Charette. Not going to get one on the sophomore. Here's Sylvia the direction now, going through the slot. Sylvia takes it, still in play. Avila had a chance at it, couldn't get a shot. Bounces back over to Sylvia. And going the other direction now, Nick Carey. Cross ice to Polacek. Polacek, and it's Swanikamp. Grant. Force at the blue line. Up top, in the middle. This one sent inside by Charette, and they couldn't get a stick on it there with Rodriguez. Here's Force again, dances with it behind the net. Inside to Rodriguez off his stick, up in the air, and Avila puts it down and turns it back over. DeCesare this time missed that one off the net just a little bit right there. Grant. And DeCesare will chase up after it here. Turned over. From behind the net, looking to make a play. DeCesare puts it inside, and they didn't have it there either. Rodriguez almost tipped it home that time.
Tim, Burrillville have really fired out of the cannon coming into this second half of action. It's been all them so far.
Here it is again. They have a chance. Bore down with Adam DeCesare to give the Broncos the lead again.
Welcome back to the lead, Broncos. Bar downski for DeCesare, and a great play by him, Tim. I think that this team really came fired up out of the locker room. Being tied really set a fire into their butts, and here they are coming out with an early lead in the second half. great play by them, unmatched so far in this second half of action.
Bar down for DeCesare. Oh my goodness. What a shot. To make it a 4-3 game. The Broncos taking their second lead of the game. Murphy going right. Behind the net, Murphy again. It's over to Poisson. His shot got saved. Bounce back over to Laramie at the blue line. Takes it from long range. And it's off the mark. Over to Connor Davis now, trying to collapse in on it. Instead, it finds Mason Moore. It's turned over. Back to Frawley down the ice. Carpenter getting by Davis, and Carpenter can't race up back after as Laramie gets there first for Burrillville. Murphy making a play against the wall against Stringer, and they get it off somehow with Stringer, and it gets saved by Karen. 17:47 left here in the second half.
You know, Tim, you mentioned earlier in the game that first game of the season they switched out Karen for Tremblay at halftime in their first non-league matchup. They've chosen to stick with him, and I think that's the right decision for Burrillville right now. Karen's a pretty solid goaltender, one of the upper echelon in Division 1, in my opinion. So sticking with him, I think, is the good vote of confidence for him and the right way to go.
He's had a strong, last about 10 minutes of game time here. Here is Fiod, find that loose puck in the neutral zone. Fiod shot a little bit too tall. Carey looking to make a play on it there, could not. Instead it finds Rodney Fournette. Back over to Carey off the wall. Carey had a man at the slot. Instead Polacek had it. Fournette was all alone. Nears from distance. Off the mark. Inside Fournette, steps into it. That one's saved by Nicoletti. Carey again. A little spin cycle here, Carey. Nears. At the blue line, we'll get that one blocked. Grant, and now here comes a man, it's Evan Agron. 2-on-1, they give it up, shot. Oh, they score! Tie game!
Tim, is this the game of the year?
It might be the game of the year, Jay, and the goal to tie it up, Colton Carrison makes it 4 apiece.
And he'll keep that puck for himself as well. Just a great game. Carrison, a spectacular player.
And what a game.
Wow. Tim, you have to imagine that this game, it might officially end in a tie, but you have to imagine that they might do a little penalty shootout for bragging rights, Tim, if this ends in a tie. I mean, it's been too good of a game to not have a winner.
Jay, this is a tilt for sure.
No doubt.
Barn burner here with 16.5 minutes to go. I just want to see more of it.
Of course.
I want to keep seeing it. Here comes Sylvia. Out there with Avila. Sylvia looking to get a shot off defensively. There was Clayton Charette on the recovery. And Charette still cramming for it and off the wall. DeCesare makes the play. Swannikamp. Gets it up. Warren from the point. Takes it, almost tipped in. Warren and Sylvia almost connecting for the game-changing goal. Force. Swannikamp. Over to Sylvia. No call on the hold right there as the Canes bench wanted. Charette trying to get out of harm's way. And Avila lost the handle. Here's Force. New line in for the Canes. They had too many men on the ice.
Wow.
They had too many men on the ice. Oh my goodness.
And a really poor penalty there. You really hate to see it, Tim.
Yeah, so it's a Bronco power play. Said Broncos offside and then too many men on the ice against the Canes. Unbelievable.
Wow. What a crazy sequence of events there, Tim. I mean, so much just happened, and wow.
They served three. They had 3 guys on the ice. They subbed 3 guys in, and 6 players came on the ice. And serving the penalty will be for RMTEB. Big number 28, Brendan Bean. So the Broncos back on the power play for the first time in this second half. That's the first penalty of the half. And it wasn't a physical one. That shot, what a block by Sylvia.
You know, Tim, with how aggressive that first half was, I'm surprised the penalty came this late into it. It's about 7 minutes in.
I think we all are a little bit surprised by a lot of things have went in this game, that being one of them.
Yeah.
As we are a third of the way into this second half. 15 minutes remain here from Burrillville. Force. Sylvia got a piece of that one, and it is taken back by Evan Agron. The Canes have a shorthanded goal today. Broncos have 2 power play goals.
Yeah, Tim, this game really is living and dying by the power play.
Sure has. Here's Poisson. Wrapping around behind the net. Poisson going to the right side circle. Cross-ice pass, and again, a piece of it there was Agron. A minute to go on the penalty. Can the Broncos take advantage, or can the Canes survive it? Moore tips it up to Poisson. Another big defensive play by Agron again, as he's going to kill another 15 seconds off of this one. Force. 14 minutes remain. Trying to get around Avila. Force flips it inside, and Fournette had a piece of it deflect over to the corner right there. Fionn looking to recover. Avila takes it back. Avila! Oh, he just missed it right. Almost had their second shorthanded goal today. And they've looked great on this penalty kill unit so far here in this one.
That would have been crazy, Tim. They really have had a really good penalty kill. It's something that they're really good at. And, I mean, they just spectacular job. You know, down a man and against a team like Burrillville, so spectacular to be able to apply pressure while being down.
Brown got a shot off, got shoved afterwards by Force, and Cam Force will go to the box for 2. What was Force doing right there?
That's just a concentration error right there. And you know, I talked about it. I talked about it earlier, Tim. I mean, that is a pinpoint blatant call right there. And it really just shows how good they are at drawing these kind of penalties. RMTEB.
So Force, who had one of the aforementioned power play goals earlier today, he's going to now put RMTEB on the power play. 4 seconds left on the 4-on-4, and that's going to now lead us to the power play here for the Canes. And they start in the wrong direction. 20 seconds into the penalty. Here's Sylvia. Turn that one over. Poisson off the stick. Now here's Agron leading the break. With Carrison out there with them, who just scored the last goal. Agron at the circle takes it, it's blocked. Murphy got a piece of it there. Fournette flips it forward. 40 seconds into the power play. Burrillville shorthanded. Agron. This one got tipped and finds Carrison down the ice. Staying on side is Sylvia here. Sylvia lost the handle on that puck. Poisson with a good stick to take it away. As we are over a minute into this power play, 50 seconds remain. Sylvia from the blue line gives it up. Srandykamp. There's Murphy taking it back. Murphy shorthanded. Murphy for the lead out of the midst again of Nicoletti. Got the shot off though, 30 seconds left. Burrillville shorthanded on the plus side of the ice here. They lose the puck there. Agron takes it back. Carrison. Sylvia. Swanicamp. Brown shot, missed it left. Hawkins. Now Carpenter with 5 seconds left on the penalty. And these two teams exchange 2 more penalties, but no goals on the 2 power plays there.
Yeah, Tim, this game has been very power play focused. Another puck dribbles out of the hands of Nicoletta, who really needs some stickum in his glove there. But, I was surprised that there was a lot of attacking pressure on both of them and nothing came out of either one. Nicoletti, excuse me.
Got lucky there. This will be an icing call. We haven't seen too many of those today for either team. And one right there with 11:02 left.
They've been waving them off a lot as Tim and I are arm in arm right now, watching this game unfold. It's been a spectacular one, huh, Tim?
It's been a great game here from the Levy Ice Rink, and hopefully for you and Daniel, you guys can get another barn burner after this.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Like I said, it's my first game with him, so it'll be a good one.
This one at center ice, Avila. Get back over to Brown. Stringer. This one will get on net. Karen able to slap it towards the corner here. To Cesare up ahead. Perillo will send it down the ice. Getting there first, Keegan Grant. Fight for it. Behind the net. And this is not a good pass. Could have been a good shot there. Not a great pass from Perillo. And Laramie has to go all the way back to get it. And it's Stringer at the center ice getting it for the Canes. 10 minutes left. We're already 12 and a half minutes into the second half. 4-4 game, a goal apiece for each team here in the second. And these two teams, they've had a problem closing out games. Perillo almost had a shot right there, could not, but both these squads have trouble closing out games. We saw it last night with the Canes, who lost in overtime against North Kingstown. Not a good start to the year. This is another bad pass. Murphy going left, backhand shot hits the face of Nicoletti right there.
Yeah,
got him right in the noggin. The blue line. Murphy inside. Finds force at the blue line. Defender falls down in Avila. Force going right. Trying to force his way into something good. His shot saved. Second try also saved for Mason Moore. And the Canes survived that one. They're bringing the heat right now. Burrillville heating up.
Yeah, Tim. Burrillville's getting hot at the right time. They, I really think they want this one to end with a win on the score sheet. They really need this. This is a really big pickup game. But on the other side, RMT's had a really good game as well. When they're firing, they're firing. When they're not, they're not. So it's been an up and down game for them. And if they do make a bid to be promoted to Division I, I feel like this game would be the headliner for them. The highlights from it, at least, because the highs have been really high and the lows have been really low, Tim.
For sure. I mean, this is their best performance of the year, though. Even if they lose this game, this is definitely one to look back on for Burrillville. If they win this game in a close game like this, maybe a little bit disappointing.
Yeah.
They probably thought they were going to beat the brakes off of this Canes team, and it's still a 4-4 game late in the second half. A cram for it against the wall. A couple players from each team in the area, and they will blow this one dead.
Yeah, Tim, I think with a game like this, no one really expects the underdog. It's a scrappy team. It's a team that you wouldn't expect to win a game like this, especially against a really well-run team like Burrillville. Their coaching staff is spectacular. Their culture has transcended the generations of coaching staffs. I mean, this is a really well-built culture here in Burrillville. So they'll, a team like this and how much they've struggled, it's unprecedented.
It's unprecedented. I mean, a couple of years ago, it was big injuries. They started off really slow in 2023. A lot of injuries last year. 111 games in Division I. With a lot of juniors who are all seniors this year too. They haven't been able to pick it up this year, and Now maybe the slow start and losses against really good Prout and Barrington teams who have also nurtured a lot of great talent on those squads the last couple of years. A tough schedule to begin the 2024-25 season for the defending runner-ups in the state of Rhode Island.
Yeah, it's something they'll have to come back from, and I think they can.
Here's Kaya Brown, the only female on this team, getting a shot off, and it got saved, and the Canes bench loving that one. She got some play time. The freshman, Kaya Brown.
Super talented. I mean, it's always cool to see a girl come in here and kick some butt with the guys. So,
Coach Rancourt before the game was just telling me she's an incredible skater. She's so fast. We saw a little bit right there.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully, some girls hockey can be restored on East Bay.
Yeah.
But she can compete. She just did it right there.
Yeah.
So I love it. Love to see it.
Of course, man.
Sylvia will get back to it here. Swaneykamp. Turned over. Force. Gets through one. Force. Get the shot off. Missed it. Polachek, the rebound. Still alive with Fiod there as well, but Nicoletti again will fall on top of it. Make a big time play.
Yeah, it was a pretty good play for Nicoletti. We've talked about up and downs, and he's really just trying to build a good resume here from this game.
Getting some good building in this one. Had a penalty earlier as well, which was served by one of his teammates. No hooking call there at center ice. I'm not sure either of the refs could tell, but they say it was clean anyways. Here's Lavalita, turned over. Murphy steps into it, missed it left. Swaneykamp, the long rebound, trying to get it out of the way for the Canes, but Murphy will get it back for Burrillville. Nears, back to Murphy, and that's Swaneykamp with a great read. They're tangled up against the wall now, and Nears will poke it up in the air. Lavalita gets it back to Swaneykamp. At the blue line, it's Nears. Hits the skate of the official that time. This one put down by Avila. Avila whiffs on it, gets poked from behind by Mason Moore. That's actually a clean hit, not from behind, but he gets put on his back. Sat down. Here's Nears in the offensive zone. This one tips over to Mason Moore. Moore got it poked away. Great stick there by Keegan Grant. Nears again, launches, saves, still alive for Murphy. Gets to it. Murphy takes and missed it right. Oh, they've had so many chances.
If he could have
the
placed
golden ticket to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory is right there.
If he could have placed that better, that would have been in. Nicoletti was completely out of position, Tim.
He was. That right side of the net was naked from our vantage point, at least. For a quick second. That's all you need sometimes.
Of course. And look at that, Tim. There's about 2 to 3 Broncos swarming to every puck. It feels like they want this bad with only 5 minutes to go.
Here's Brown. Up ahead, Agron. Agron going left, trying to get by the defender and Force with a great stick to jar the possession. Force has it again. He's out there down the ice with DeCesare. Force tangled up inside. No whistle, stick on the ice, back to the neutral zone. Here's Force again, who's everywhere tonight for the Broncos. Maybe the Jay Costa player of the game.
Maybe,
Force.
Tim.
DeCesare off his stick into the offensive zone. Force, long look for Carey. Got blocked, and it's put back down for Sylvia. There defensively is Charette. Sylvia gives it up to a trailing player in Buchanan, and this one is turned over. Carey, other direction. Out there with Force, who gets the puck here behind the net. Force trying to squeak by Austin Sylvia. Force takes it, and it's saved by Nicoletti again. 4:36 on the clock. First stoppage in quite a few minutes right there.
We've had a lot of running clock. We've had a lot of open play, and Nicoletti finally showing that potential he has and the raw ability, able to get a good stop there after a couple question marks. So that was a good segment of play there. A lot of attacking pressure from Burrillville, which I love to see.
And the pressure to try to keep it going here, not with that, as this puck goes into the stands. Mears got that one blocked. On its way there, Polacek. Polacek in traffic. Right side, it squeaks over to Carey. Polacek in the middle. Carey off the stick. Couldn't get the shot off there. Back to the blue line. Polacek from long range, or Carey rather. Stays in play for Fiat. Defensively, Keegan Grant all over it. And a big hit. That's going to be a penalty on Evan Polacek. He's going to the box. He laid out Gavin Avila, who is or rather not Avila, that is Nick Gilkison, who we are saying his name for the first time today, the sacrificial lamb right there.
Yeah,
it's going to be a penalty for the Burrillville Broncos, and with 3:49 left, the Canes on the power play, Jay.
Yeah, Tim, this is going to be about 2/3 of the remaining clock here, maybe closer to half of the remaining clock. You've got to imagine the Canes are going to dial up something big here. They don't have a lot of chances left. They have a lot of depth in their roster, but I think the talent edge might go to Burrillville a little bit here. So they've got to be careful about what they do, but they also have to be aggressive, Tim, if that makes any sense.
Each team now with 5 penalties. All of Burrillville is committed by upperclassmen, as the junior Polacek makes a bad one there late in this second half. Here's Agron. We'll start off here. And this one turned over. Not a good start to the penalty at all, as we're 20 seconds into the power play. Agron behind the net. He was on this penalty kill unit and power play unit. Up to Carrison. Carrison looking to get out of the pile with it, could not. And Murphy. Agron. Sylvia to his brother down the ice. Out of the pile, here's Carrison inside. Oh, they were trying to feed it on the other side right there. And now here's Neers with a 2-on-1. Neers gets through. Neers for the lead. Missed it left. Murphy was there as well, and they couldn't connect. 55 seconds left on the Canes power play. Sylvia. Full steam ahead. Sylvia takes the shot. Karen makes it. It's still alive. Did Sylvia tap it in? No. Oh my goodness, we almost saw another one. Nicoletti earlier dropped the puck and a goal was scored. That time Karen dropped the puck. Sylvia is the only one who saw it at first. He slammed in there, but somehow, some way, Riley Karen was able to get on top of it.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That was some spectacular play, Tim. This is the high energy stuff that we need. 41 seconds left in this power play. There'll be about 1:50 left on the clock by the time this one's out. So by the time it's even strength again. So, not a lot of time left. I don't know if there's no overtime in high school hockey here, especially an exhibition game, is there?
I don't know if there will be in this game because it's non-league. Well, time will tell if we get to that point. Last non-league game I did was actually here. It was Pontiac against the Mount St. Charles, the varsity 2 team. It was 5-5, no overtime. So we'll see how this one goes. Carpenter. Brown. 19 seconds left in the penalty. Brown going backwards. Doesn't want to turn it over. 2 minutes left here in regulation. Brown down the ice. Gets it up to Avila. Avila. Angling towards it. Carpenter back to 5-on-5 as well. With Polacek coming out of the box as he was anxiously awaiting to see his team kill that penalty. Force down there with Polacek. Force gets through his shot. Oh, it just missed. 90 seconds left. Big collision now. Murphy Cross ice. Shot. Oh,
Oh.
too tall for Polacek. Almost had it there, too. He was wide open. Nobody was next to him. As the deflection into the netting here. Good stick by Carpenter on the shot from Poisson. A minute 16 remains, 4 apiece. Jay,
Tim,
holy
this is still
crap.
anyone's game, man. This is still this, in my opinion. If Burrillville can keep this in this third the entire rest of this game, and I would not be surprised if they fire at least 7 or 8 more shots in that time frame.
Here's Sylvia, the captain. Turns it over, shot. Oh my goodness. Murphy had a chance. Instead, Poisson, Fournette, who's already scored once, gets that one saved with
Wow.
61 seconds remaining.
Tim, getting down to the wire here. You've got to imagine they're going to start pulling some stops to try and make this a win instead of a draw.
Fournette, not able to get there. Now here comes Sylvia. Sylvia with Agron there too. Gets it to him. Agron missed it. Oh my
Oh,
goodness,
shit.
he had it.
I thought he
He
scored.
had it. He couldn't get his stick on it there. Oh, he was right there. That could have
Oh
won
my
the
God,
game.
Tim, that was a spectacular play. I thought he put that in the back of the net at first. I was about to go crazy, but wow, great defensive effort by Burrillville.
A collapse from the Canes as that could have sealed it more to Fournette. Going right, Fournette takes it, saves. Nicoletti covers up. 16 seconds left.
16 seconds left, Tim.
And Jay, I know you weren't trying to clown Agron on the lap there. You
No,
were in
I was in disbelief. I thought that went in. No. No, definitely not, Tim. I was.
And excitement too.
Yes, it was excitement. A lot of energy. I was more laughing at myself. I thought the scream was kind of funny, a little bit goofy, but I love good games like this.
13 seconds, 10 seconds. Fight forward in the corner. Coming out of the pile, Murphy. Murphy couldn't get to anybody. Force. One more try. Murphy behind the net. At the gun. They score! Are you serious? Nick Carey beats the buzzer, and Burrillville wins it with triple zeros on the clock. Unbelievable! Carey, the
Tim,
winner. Are you serious?
what a way to end this electric game, Tim. A spectacular play. I think that all hope was seemingly lost in getting a win here, and they pulled through and end up hitting the game winner, an absolute brace at the death. And here we are, 5-4. Burrillville in the win column for the first time this season, and what a spectacular way to do it in a game like this.
Nick Carey, his first goal of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time, and Jay, I think it's safe to say you have a new clutch player of the game after that.
That might be the most clutch player of the game in the history of the Jay Costa Clutch Player of the Game award. Congratulations to him. Spectacular player, you know. Tim, you're hitting the town with Cam Rancourt after the game. You've got to imagine his night might be ruined after this. You know,
Hey, it might be. He's giving me a ride home too.
Yeah.
So we came together. We're going to leave together, and Burrillville, they're going to leave this one with their first victory here of the 2024-25 season. Unbelievable. They win at the buzzer, and Jay, that's 2 barn burners in a row for me and you. You got one more coming up next. Pontiac taking on Cranston East West Situate Woonsocket up next.
Very exciting,
Here on
Tim.
Fans Only Sports Network. We'll see you guys then from Levy Ice Rink. We're out for Burrillville.